So, do you guys have any plans to travel, visit, or even live here in the Philippines for good? Then, in today's video, I'm definitely going to mention all the things that you must really need to avoid as a foreigner while traveling or even living here in the Philippines to have a very successful and smooth travels, visits, and also by living here in the Philippines. So stick until the end of this video because I'm definitely going to mention one of the most important thing that you should really avoid for you guys to avoid being imprisoned. The first thing that you must really need to avoid if you guys have any plans to travel, visit, or live here in the Philippines is never ever get involved in political or religious beliefs here in the Philippines, okay? Because as a foreigner, if you're going to criticize the government, specifically the Philippine government, because it is actually a very quite sensitive topic here when you're gonna talk about politics. So, as much as possible as a foreigner, you can just enjoy your travel, your visit here, anytime you want, anywhere you want, or anyone that you want to be with while you are here. You can definitely enjoy that, but really avoid discussing or talking about local issues like elections, drug policies, or even controversial topics here in the Philippines. Right, so the next one that you must really need to avoid as well while traveling or living here in the Philippines is to avoid disrespecting religious beliefs. So I totally get it that if you're a Western man, you probably guys are not really into believing gods or anything like that, and your traditions, your beliefs, or anything, any cultures that you have there in your country may be way too different here in our country in the Philippines. So again, just really avoid talking about or even like mocking our religion practices, religion beliefs, our traditions, and everything like that for you as well to avoid being criticized by Filipino people, especially to those people who are into that kind of specific community, like those people like priests or anything like that. All right, so the third one that you must really need to avoid while traveling or living here in the Philippines is never ever flirt with a Filipina woman that is already taken, or in short, never ever be involved romantically with a married woman, because I'm telling you guys, doesn't mean that you can get away with any of this kind of things here in the Philippines just because you're a foreigner. Because I'm telling you, no, there's no way for you to get away with this kind of issue if you are going to put yourself in that relationship that is already actually existed. You don't want to be missing with a Filipino husband or Filipino boyfriend, or worst case scenario if it's going to be like other foreigner husband or foreigner partner with that Filipina that you are trying to flirt or that you're talking to. So as much as possible, you can just go ahead and find someone that is single, 100% single, and not romantically involved with anyone to avoid unnecessary dramas as well, and to avoid suing you, because I'm telling you, it is actually a big no-no here. And the federal thing here in the Philippines, the cheating issues or anything like that, you can actually go to prison by just cheating and also by being romantically involved with someone that's already taken, especially if that woman is actually already married, like there is like proof that she is married. So try to avoid that. All right, so the next thing that you should also avoid, guys, is wandering at the very late at night. You should really avoid going out, especially if it's a dark area and there is not much people in that specific areas that you are wandering about, that you are, going out. So as much as possible, you can just stay at home, you can stay at condo, your apartment, or anywhere that you feel much safer, and there's like CCTV cameras and it has lights, compared to going to, somewhere that, you might be killed there, murdered there, or you might be surrounded with bad people there. Right, so the next one that you should also avoid while traveling or living here in the Philippines is calling Filipino people or calling the Philippines as a poor and dirty country. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, there's actually so many Filipinos that are very proud, very happy, and very, you know, like very proud of their home country. And me, even me, I love my country so much. Although we are actually, third world country, and we're not actually that rich. We don't have like lots of gold and any kind of wealthy in this world in our country. But I love my people. I love my Filipino people. I love everyone in here. I love everything in here. Although it's not a perfect country, but I love everyone in here. If you are going to call this as a poor country, a dirty country, a country that you don't want to be here for the rest of your life because it doesn't pass your standards or anything like that, you keep criticizing this country, you keep saying negative things in this country, and that might offend local Filipino people. So if you don't want to offend them, and if you don't want to get criticized and be also getting judged by these Filipino local people, then you just really have to keep it to yourself. If you want to say something bad about the Philippines, then just keep it to yourself, okay, instead of talking about nonsense, especially if it's something that you can just keep to yourself and it's actually really nonsense. Just keep it to yourself and just be friendly with people and just try to adopt to the country. Try to be, try to accept that this is what we have here, this is who we are here, and just be adaptable and be flexible. So the next one is never, ever break the law of the Philippines if you are a foreigner, especially, because doesn't mean that you are a foreigner, that you can just easily get away with any of these things. If you ever tried to break the law, you cannot just easily go away with it just because you're a foreigner. You really need to also face the consequences for breaking the law. You're also going to be punished with it. And worst case scenario, it can be imprisonment punishment. So if you guys want to travel here, just enjoy your journey, enjoy living or traveling here, but never ever break any law. As much as possible, just try to learn and research about the rules and the law of the Philippines. You can follow it, you can obey it. And as a foreigner, it's your responsibility to also know what's the Philippine law, and also you have to also obey with that. And you have to avoid overstaying your visa or overstaying here in the Philippines, and avoid littering, avoid doing drugs, using drugs, or avoid getting into fights with other Filipinos or even like with other foreigners. Be matured enough to follow all the rules and be responsible enough to be knowledgeable about at least basic rules and laws of the Philippines, so that again you will have a nice travels here in the Philippines. Alright, so the last but not the least, guys, is as a foreigner, you also need to avoid making fun and mocking Filipino people with their English communication skills. Okay, so I think a lot of you guys already know that majority of Filipino people actually can understand and know how to speak in English fluently. Okay, but I'm also not gonna lie that there are also some people out there that don't really know how to speak in English, although they can understand, but they just can't seem to have a proper grammar or correct pronunciation about that English that they want to communicate with you, but they just can't really do it because again, they're having a hard time to speak in English. So as much as possible, just be considerate and be respectful as well, and do not mock them. Do not ever try to laugh at them, especially if it's a strangers who have a wrong grammar or who have incorrect pronunciation. Yes, that's it, everybody. And by the way, I just want to ask you guys if you ever plan to travel or visit the Philippines, or even considering to live here in the Philippines, what is that one thing you would never ever do in the Philippines as a foreigner? Okay, so please feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear your answers and I would love to respond any of it as well. So again, thank you guys and see you to my next video. Bye!